If you are a long-time subscriber of my channel, positioning, branding, and strategy are three words that you have heard me using in a lot of my videos. Hi guys, Fabio Palvelli here, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk specifically about positioning and how positioning can affect positively your creative business. I'm going to talk about a couple of things that can help you thinking about positioning for your own company, and maybe some of the stuff that I will be discussing here can help you elevate your design firm and reach more and better clients. To put it into simple words, positioning refers to the understanding of how a product or a service of a company occupies the market in comparison to the competition. And according to Dave Power, an Harvard instructor, positioning is the most critical element of a company strategy when going to market with their products or service. Let's take, for example, Audi, Mercedes, and BMW. These are three of the most famous German car manufacturers. Take any model of a car that they offer in any respective category and run as many comparison tests as you want, you will see that more or less each car is an extraordinary example of style, technology, engineering, performance, and reliability, and that each car is equivalent to each other in those regards. Still, I'm sure that even you watching from home might have an opinion as of which one is the better car manufacturer. Now, believe it or not, you're neither right or wrong. This is just what happens when a company positions their product in relationship to the needs of certain specific customers. And in this very case, positioning is achieved through branding. Now, branding is a great topic that might deserve a video of its own. In case you're curious, I can recommend you this book from Martin Neumeier. It's called The Brand Flip. You will read this book in 3 hours top. It's a great book. But anyway, let's focus on positioning. When positioning is done right, it can help your company being perceived better in relationship to its competitors. Now, of course, better should be defined specifically for each company individually. For instance, in your case, do you want to be perceived as more expensive? Do you want to be perceived as more exclusive, more raffinate? This is something that my clients and I work at the very beginning of our cooperation when we try to define our strategy. There are many different techniques utilized to define positioning for a company. You can make a quick Google search to see how many different approaches there are. But one thing that you will quickly realize once you start diving deep into this idea of positioning is that some of the things that you have to do in order to differentiate yourself from the competition might require actually a lot of money and time that you as a designer or as an artist might not have. When I work with my clients, we try to simplify this whole thing. We like to work on positioning by taking advantage of the simple idea that clients want to work with you mainly because of three things. Clients will want to work with you because they know you. Clients will want to work with you because they like you. And the most important one is that clients will want to work with you because they trust you. Now let's start with the first concept. For a client to know you, they need to know who you are and what your work looks like. Obviously, if you're trying to reach high-end clients, you have to be able to provide high-end services, and your work should reflect on this, of course. In order to showcase your work, you can use, of course, all the websites which are available, Behance, Instagram, but it's also very important that you have a beautiful website that clients can look at when they reach you. So apart from having a portfolio online, a simple thing that you can do is to put all your team on your website with their pictures, write a description, put their passions, their interests, describe what they do. This way your potential clients can see that you're a company made of people. If you're a freelancer, do the same thing. Make sure that people get to know you, who you are, what you do. The more information you put out there, the better it is. I call this the getting naked strategy. And it's very useful because if you think about it, if you put all your information out there for a client to see them, if the client sees them and relates to you, that relationship will be more likely to be a good one. If the client sees this information and simply ignores them or they're not interested, This also gives you an indication of which type of person you're dealing with. Now, with that said, my recommendation is that if you are serious about your business, you should invest most of your money and time into meeting clients in person. This was a tip that I got many years ago by one of my old mentors, and it's probably still the main reason why I was able to create everything that I've created, including my own consulting business. There are many ways that you can approach a client to try and have a face-to-face meeting. You should really try to find the way that works best for you. Also from a communicational point of view. The more you try this, the better you will get at this. So don't be afraid to fail. Me personally, I failed many times in front of clients with the things that I said. Sometimes I embarrass myself, but you know what? It's all part of the learning process, so don't worry. However, the point is that the more clients know you in person and know who you are, the better it is. One other way to approach clients and build direct relationships is to use all the possible contacts that you might have. You know, old friends, old university colleagues that, might work there, for example. You could look up if any of these companies go to speak at conferences. Try to go and see them. Try to approach them, talk to them, offer them a drink. Be cool, strike a conversation, be charming, get a chance to talk to them. And if you do, make the meeting about themselves. Anyway, always try to find new creative ways to meet clients. It's only beneficial. Now, you might say, hey, you know what, Fabio? I have a small company, we're based in India or Serbia, so we're far from all our clients. We have always had a purely internet relationship with them. It works for us. I don't need to meet my clients in person. I think you're wrong, and I think that if you want to bring this professional relationship to the next level, you should really try and meet your clients so that they know that you exist as a human. That brings me to the next point. Clients need to like you. This is where a lot of artists and designers get confused. It's often not enough for clients to only like your work. Clients need to like you as a person and how you propose yourself to them. This requires a lot of empathy. It requires for your interests as a creative person to be strongly aligned with the ones of your client. It requires for you to have patience. And patience, believe me, it's a difficult thing to have for many designers because sometimes designers don't have money. And when money is an issue, designers have to close sales. Sometimes you're trying to build a relationship with a client and you try to close a sale a little bit too prematurely. If clients sense that, they will automatically think that you might not be doing so well, economically speaking. And that reflects on the perception that the client might have of you. But anyway, I digress. As you can see, there is a lot of consideration to be made. A very important one is that clients might get to like you because of your opinions. This is where social media plays a great role. You can use most social media channels to develop your own public opinion and to develop your own public message as a designer. Maybe write a blog on Medium or create a LinkedIn article. Make an Instagram carousel with all of your ideas. The important thing is that your opinion should be honest and personal. You will not be able to make every potential client like you because maybe some people will disagree with you, but those who will like you and will agree with you, they might stick around and might consider working with you because your thoughts align with theirs. That is way more powerful of an idea than trying to please everyone and try to reach everybody. The third point, which is anyway the most important one, is trust. Trust is built over time. I've seen many talented designers struggling with finding clients simply because they would not accept the idea that to build trust, you need to have a track record of successful projects that can guarantee to your client that they are not taking a risk in hiring you. Seth Godin says that human responds a lot better to frequency. And that is really true. Sometimes outstanding, revolutionary products get introduced in the market and don't get adopted by the masses, sometimes for years, simply because of our natural instinct to resist change. This needs to always be acknowledged in business. Now, I often have to explain to my clients that the work that we do to build our brand needs to be done now in order to see the results in 2 or 3 years. This is often referred as farming. Farming is another thing that we should probably talk in another video. But anyway, this is particularly true nowadays since there is a lot of competition and loads of designers try to do the same thing as anyone else. So again, being patient and consistent over a longer period of time is the key to building trust with your clients. Anyway, this is basically the essence of positioning. We're barely scratching the surface of this topic, but I'll be happy to answer your questions in case something is not really clear. Just leave me a comment and I'll try to do my best to answer everybody. Now, I want to leave you with a few tips that can help you getting started with this. Tip number 1, have a mission statement. This is by far the best thing that you can do. Having a mission statement helps you defining your values. It helps you understanding your goals, and it helps you focusing on what matters the most for you to achieve your vision. So have a mission statement. Tip number 2, defining your position in the market should be done with the sole intent to separate yourself from the competition. The sales part, that comes at a later stage. So when approaching new clients to build relationships, you should focus on relationships and not sales. If you focus on sales, you get burned in the process. So be very, very careful. Tony Robbins talks extensively about starting a company and building relationships when keeping yourself employed in another company, because having a job with a stable income can allow you to focus on building human relationships more than sales, and this is very important for positioning. If you are already running a company and you're struggling and you're trying to build relationships with your clients, one way would be to try and generate additional income doing other things. So for instance, if you're a designer, try to get a teaching gig, or maybe try to monetize on other things that you can do with your design skills. But anyway, having cash flow, it's always a good thing. The last tip is be patient. Positioning your company to where you want it to be in the market requires a lot of time, so you have to be patient. You have to listen to the feedback of your clients and those who support you and your brand. In the book, The Brand Flip, that I've already mentioned at the beginning, Martin Neumeier argues that nowadays companies are actually built and supported by its customer, as it is the same customer that goes out of its way to support you. This is a very important aspect needed to define who is your tribe. Who is that it's giving you the moral support by referring you to other potential clients. Anyway, I think this is a really great book that you should read. You can get a lot of insights about positioning, strategy, and branding. I'm planning to make some videos about branding as well, so if this is your first time here, make sure that you subscribe to keep up to date with my content. Anyway, I think that this is everything that I wanted to share with you guys today. What else? My name is Fabio Palvelli. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys next time.